Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. It is Danny here, the multiple streams queen. Welcome back. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you have never been here, come. Join us, stay a while. Every single Friday, I go live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel to talk about Airbnb, to talk about business in general, just to talk. I get a lot of questions, so I'm going to be answering any questions that I get from you guys. So thanks for sending them in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming back. Okay. Thanks for joining us today. So, again, I am Danny Bryan, the multiple streams queen. I am a retired emergency room nurse and travel nurse. I left my six-figure job in 2020 and I started my Airbnb business. Was it 2020? Was it last year? I get confused. Anywho, it was last year, so it was 2021. Anywho, guys, don't ask me what day it is, what the date is, because I probably don't know. But anyway, I was able to retire from nursing because I started a short-term rental or Airbnb business. I absolutely love it. Within a year, I was able to grow from like literally 0 to 40 units, and I'm really happy about that. But I've created this channel to share that journey with you guys, to teach you what I know about Airbnb in the capacity that I can teach it. You don't know me personally, so let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a wife. I am a mom. I am actually a grandma. I'm a grandma. Oh my God, it feels weird saying it. But anywho, I am. I am. So, I am an empathic person, right? I do have a mentorship, but I can only have so many people in the mentorship. My mentorships are like super small, and we hold them for about 3 months or 12 weeks. And when I say I'm an empathic person, I can very easily pick up on energies and vibes, and sometimes that leaves me a little bit drained. Even on the computer, even if we're not meeting in person. And so I limit my mentorships for that reason. Even when people are messaging me on Instagram or you're sending emails, literally my mind is going a mile a minute. I have a million thoughts going through my head at one time. Um, I'm an ER nurse. We're adrenaline junkies. I am used to organized chaos. We are multitaskers. That's just what I've learned to do, and that's just what I do. But that being said, I'll see an email or I'll see a message, and my intent is to totally answer your question like in real time. But then something else will happen, and something else will happen. And I saw your message, didn't hit send or didn't get to respond. And so I don't want you guys to feel like I am ignoring you. So I'm going to answer your questions. And so I've told you that little bit about me is to say I have to teach other people at my capacity, like what I can do, right? And so it's easy for me to come on YouTube and to teach other people, literally putting together a whole free course for you guys on how to get into the industry, okay? Because I want to help people. I needed help when I started, and so I know how it is. Like, information is information. Okay, it is what you do with the information. Don't hoard it, just take it and implement it, take action, and figure it out. So, that's why I wanted to tell you just a little bit about me. Just a little bit. But if you stick around, you'll learn a lot more about me and whatever I can share. So I wanted to answer questions that I got on Instagram today. I'm going to answer two questions that I get, and maybe a third, because I get it all the time and I feel like I've answered it before, but I'll answer it again. So the first question is from, I'm not going to say who it's from. Um, but someone's asking about using a UPS address because there are no other local options. And so my answer is, and again, I'm not giving anybody legal advice. My answer is, in my opinion, if it were me, I would just err on the side of caution and just use a virtual address to start with. If you're using a UPS store as a business address, it is more than likely a PO box. Some states won't even allow you to register your business entity with the PO box. And then, secondly, once you want to start getting funding or money or credit for your business, the banks will look up the address. If it is a P.O. box, guess what? They're going to say no. How do I know? Because I had it happen to a friend. Real life, it happened to a friend. She had was using a PO box for her business. It didn't even say PO box. It gave like the address of the UPS store and like a suite number or something. But when the banker pulled up the address or put the address in his Google, it showed the UPS store, and they denied her for business credit. And he told her why, because she had that as her address. So they didn't look at her as a real business. And so the underwriters denied her. So if I had the option, I would just err on the side of caution, just use a virtual address from the jump. Because what you don't want to happen is you trying to go back and change everything or amend it, having the IRS do anything, because the IRS moves at their own time, at their own pace. And so, yeah, no. If I could do it the right way, I would just get a virtual address from the start. And what is a virtual address? It's an it should be an actual commercial building. So a business, a building where people are actually doing business, right? But instead of you paying for a private suite or private office for your business that's brand new, you may not even need office address yet or office just yet. They allow you to use their professional look, right? Their professional address, and they give you a suite number, and you can get mail there. The virtual addresses that I use, you can actually walk in there. Um, there's a receptionist there. There's like this huge glass door. If I need a conference room, I can go and utilize one of the conference rooms if I need, but they accept all my mail and someone can like actually go there. But with that being said, it gives you that professional look, right? With COVID, a lot of time, some banks were kind of lenient about people using the home address because they understood people start working from home. But I would still just go on the side and just use a virtual office address. One of my mentees, that is an issue that she actually ran into, because her town was a little bit smaller, and so she had to go to the neighboring town or the neighboring city and use a virtual address over there. So yeah, I would do it that way. The second question, someone who is asking, they live in another place, another state. Because I don't want to say people's name. They didn't give me permission to use the question here. But they want to get their first unit in Atlanta. They're asking, I have not yet, haven't got my business license, but I'm ready to start the process. Would I need to get a license in where I live or Atlanta? So that you have to check in because it is different state by state and city by city. What I do know, when in terms of short-term rentals in the city of Atlanta, you do need to register and get a permit now in Atlanta. So I would say, if you're asking about just business licenses, you would probably need a business license where you're doing business. And so if you're asking in terms of short-term rentals in the city of Atlanta, they do require that you register and get an actual permit to operate a short-term rental in the city of Atlanta. My business entities are registered in the state in which I live. So, example, if I live in Missouri, they're registered in Missouri. But if I want to do business in Atlanta, I have to kind of abide by their rules when it comes to me operating a short term rental. So, I would still need to get a permit there. So, register and get a permit. And what I will say is that because this year there have been a lot of changes with the regulations and the restrictions as it pertains to short-term rentals in Atlanta. And it went from you having to be a resident to now you don't have to be a resident as long as you have a lease, right? So if you have a lease for a home or a place in Atlanta, you're eligible to get a license or permit in the city of Atlanta. So I wanted to answer those questions. And then the third question that I get a lot, once I get a yes from an apartment complex, what do I do now? You apply. You ask for their corporate application and you apply. Let me see if I can show you guys. These are like some move-in statements that I got for 3 places. Let me see if I can show you an actual corporate app. I'm pretty, yep. Okay. So this is what a corporate application, and they can all look different. I'll probably, they can all look very different. But this is an actual corporate application. You can see there, right? You would ask them for a corporate application. So if you've gone and you've done your pitch and they know what you're doing, you're transparent. You told them, that you're going to have people in, and you may be marketing on public platforms, and they agreed. You ask for their corporate application. And literally, I've never gotten a corporate application that was pages and pages and pages. Probably 2 pages at the most is what I've gotten for corporate applications. They're all different. I have a lot of them that are literally like 1 pagers or half of pages for corporate apps. Complete this with your business information, sign it, and you just send it back in. Right? So you send it back into them. So that's it. Once they told you yes, make sure you know the criteria that they need for your business to meet. That is another important thing, because what you don't want to do is you going and you're doing your pitch, you're going on the tour, only to find out your business has to be in business for 2 years. Or to find out that they're going to run your business credit score and you need an 80 paydex score and you don't even know what a business credit score is. Or they want you to make so much and bring in bank statements or profit and loss statements or tax returns, and you don't have any of that. Don't waste your time. Just mark it down as something that you need to come back to. And once you meet the criteria, or let's say you got 2 out of the 3, depending on what the third one is, just talk to people, ask them questions. Right? Had recently one of my mentees. She literally, that was her situation. She had 2 out of the 3, and so she was like, "Oh my God, they're asking for business income. I have a new business. What do I do?" I'm like, on the personal side, you have the income. On the business, you're a new business. I said, just ask her, "Hey, can I send in both my business and my personal?" And so I'm like, "Hey, you never know. They may say yes." Just ask the question. Because imagine you don't ask the question, you go and you leave, and they would have said yes. The worst thing somebody can tell you is no. What's the best thing? They can say yes. Come on through the door. So you never know until you ask. Just ask. Okay. So once they tell you yes, what do? You fill out your corporate application. That's what you do. That's what you do. Normally, a lot of times they go through third-party vendors to do their corporate applications, to run the corporate applications. And so typically it takes 24 to 48 hours for a decision to come back, whether it's approved or denied. And that's why I say ask for the criteria, because you don't want to waste your time or their time, and you unpaid your money and you know that you don't fit the criteria, you know that you're going to get denied. Like, don't do it. But fill out the corporate application. Once you get your approval, then you can kind of determine when you're going to move in and have a plan, right? You don't want to take immediate possession. They're like, "Oh, it's available right now. You can take it right now." And you haven't even thought about ordering furniture. Don't take it right now. Do not take it right now. You need to plan, right? Most places, they will only hold your approval for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And when I say hold your approval, don't go in there. You do your pitch, you get the yes, you do the application. You're like, "Oh, but I don't want them. I need about 2 months before I move in." They're not going to hold your approval for 2 months. It's one thing if the apartment won't be available for 2 months, right? Let's say that you go and apply today and the apartment is not available to December. The apartment's not available to December, but if they have an apartment ready right now and you're like, oh, I don't want to move until December, they're not going to hold that apartment for you until December. They're not. 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the most is what I've seen apartments willing to do. Uh, to in terms of you taking possession of that apartment. So have a plan. If you know you're doing the application, have a plan to actually order your furniture and get that apartment up and running within 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so that's when you take possession, when you've planned out your furniture. Okay, so if you get approved today, normally if you're ordering, depending on where you're ordering stuff from, it should take 2 to 3 weeks, and so you can kind of push out your move-in date. um, I typically do 2 weeks. Okay. I typically do about 2 weeks for my move in dates because that gives me time to order furniture and everything can get there. And that's when I take possession. I ask them if they have a place to store packages just in case something comes before I actually take possession, just to make sure it'll be safe, it'll be secure. Otherwise, I have to come up with a plan on what I'm going to do with those packages in the meantime before I actually take possession. So ask all those questions up front, because some complexes are like, hey, we're not going to hold your packages. We're not responsible for them. We don't have anywhere for them to go. And then you didn't think about that. You didn't ask a question. And so now you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do without my furniture? So have that plan in mind when you're actually going to apply. And so I'm going to leave you guys today. But one last thing I want to say, as an entrepreneur especially, but just in general, you guys need some type of self-care, okay, or some wellness plan. A lot of times we put self-care or taking care of ourselves on the back burner, and self-care can literally look how you want it to look. But it is your time, it is your moment to break away and to just have a peaceful moment, whether that's you in the tub with a glass of wine and a book, you taking a walk, you getting a massage, you stretching, you getting your nails done, whatever self care looks like for you, you define that. But I find a lot of times, especially business owners, right? But also women in general, women, men, we don't take time for self care to take care of ourselves. A lot of us don't make that a priority. The last few weeks, I have been working out. I don't like working out. I'm gonna be honest. I do not like it, but I understand that I want to be healthy. I have to be healthy, right? In order to become the person that I want to be, right? That's going to live the life that I desire to have. She's healthy. That person is healthy, right? I'm not building this empire and building this wealth for me to die young because I'm overweight or, I have some type of disease process going on. No, right? And so I have made a commitment to myself to make my self care a priority, working out 4 times a week, watching what I'm eating. So I created a wellness and self care book and journals to kind of help you guys develop a plan. And I decided to do something fun. It'll actually be a text accountability group. So every single day, we're going to be texting you a workout plan that you can do at home. You can do in your home. Um, and on the weekends, it's your free time. You don't have to work out, but you should be prioritizing some self care. So I created the journal for you guys, for people that are interested. And as a added bonus, I said, let's do something fun and do the text accountability group at the end of the 30 days. Me and my group, my text group, we'll celebrate. We'll celebrate everyone's wins, but whoever has made the most progress in terms of your goals, because um, got a little challenge in there just about accomplishing your goals. Who's ever made the most progress will win something special at the end of the 30 days. So if you're interested in that, I have the link for the workbook in the description, and then in the workbook is how you the the information on how you join the text accountability group. We start October 15th. You can start after October 15th. You don't, even if you miss it, you didn't see the video, you didn't hear, you can still join after the 15th. But I just thought it'll be something fun. It's something I'm doing already. So you guys can join me. Okay. All righty. So I'm going to leave you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I will see you guys next Friday.